Hello there, Norbert. My name is Ellen, and I will be correcting this set of essays for you. Let's take a look and see what you have done here. You wrote about international marketing, so let's see what you said. International marketing might be considered too direct, sometimes even kind of offensive to the general population of certain countries. I strongly believe that these campaigns are not only harmless, but even mind-opening in a way of showing how diverse and multicultural our world is. Okay. Mm, all right, it's fine. I like that you used your own language. I didn't love this section right here. I did feel like it was a little awkward, this inner way of showing. I wanted to change it. Let me see if something kind of comes to mind as I read it again. I strongly believe that these campaigns are not only harmless, but even mind-opening. How about just in showing how? Not in a way of showing, but even mind opening. You know what? Let's minimize it even more. Even mind opening, comma, showing how diverse and multicultural our world is. Even better. Okay? It's cleaner, it's clearer, so I definitely think it's a better way of saying it. On one hand, I can imagine that countries with a more traditional and conservative setup might frown upon accepting globalization and the related international commercial activities. Absorbing new ideas and new ways of approaching certain things that are to some extent or even totally contradicting what absorbing new ideas and new ways of approaching certain things that are to some extent or even totally contradicting with ours can by some countries even be considered blasphemy. Get rid of the a. For example, in the Middle East or Asia, where you want an H here, where strong religious backgrounds and related political structures are dominating, a commercial showing women getting together in clothes, following the latest fashion, having fun in a disco is totally unheard of. Even the idea is foreign to them. Okay, so you started off fine, but I do kind of feel that maybe there was more to talk about here. Okay. Let me see if I can tell you what I mean. We're talking about international marketing. Why is it invasive and intrusive? First of all, are we clear with what international marketing is? International marketing actually uh, is meant to change, to adapt to the host country. So I'm not entirely sure that your example about you wearing the latest fashion is appropriate. Okay. Why am I mentioning this? Well, because it shows that maybe you don't have a clear understanding of the vocabulary term international marketing. Okay. And so then maybe, they could be like, well, in terms of vocabulary, he hasn't really quite gotten it. So that's one thing that I'm thinking of. Let's see. So you're talking about globalization, and certainly international marketing falls under that. Let me think for a second. So here, I felt like there was more to say. You say that it's totally unheard of. Even the idea is foreign. Okay, I think you needed to go a step further. How is this invasive and intrusive? Okay, it's one thing for something to be foreign, but you need to show us how showing such images would be considered both invasive and intrusive. Obviously, not having to use those same words, but the general idea. So I think you need to go a step further in your development. Okay? So, on the other hand, international marketing has a positive effect of making us realize how big the world we are all living in really is. Good. We can see and hear about things and people that were totally unknown to us before. For instance, without the commercial of the so-called MBT shoes, I would not know about the Maasai people inhabiting northern Africa. The related international commercial not is showing, but shows how using the Maasai-based technology shoes mimics, let's try that again, The related international commercial shows how using the Maasai-based technology shoes mimics the way these native African tribes walk in the endless sands of Sahara. Okay, so this is very nice. But you need, again, to go one step further. I kind of feel like you leave it short. And here, even just something like, therefore, international marketing promotes the spread of culture and learning new ideas. Okay, you might not want to use those exact words because they're very similar to what's in the question, but just kind of wrapping it up, I feel like that was necessary here because in both paragraphs, it definitely felt to me like there needed to be some sort of wrap up or some additional idea. You kind of left me hanging, okay, to put it that way. But it's very nice that, and I like this one, and it felt like more on topic, and I definitely enjoyed it. Okay, to conclude, I think the positive and as such educational effects of international marketing outweigh by far its possible negative ones. After all, in the modern 21st century, it is the decision of the individual and not the state anymore to accept and learn or reject new ideas. Okay, I like this. So let's talk about one other thing here. I just want to double check. You didn't include the question. Let's see. Is this, you have to remind me, does this question say discuss both views and give your opinion? I feel like it does. Okay, when you wrote here, I strongly believe, etc., etc. However, your first paragraph talks about the opposite point of view. I would have liked your thesis statement, that's what this sentence is here, your thesis statement. I would have liked your thesis statement to also kind of consider this paragraph. All it did was consider this paragraph. But it's, and then, so all of a sudden we read this and we're like, okay, well, if we just heard that there is a strong belief they're not only harmless, then why are we talking about this? So you need to let the reader know that you're going to discuss both sides. Okay? And there are a lot of really easy ways to do this. So you could say, while I believe that some countries may take issue with having international ideas um, introduced to them, on the whole, I believe these campaigns are not only harmless, but even mind opening and showing us how diverse and multicultural our world is. So that's how you can do it. All right, using a while statement. While I understand, etc., etc., on the whole, I believe this. And this way, you've covered all your bases and you let the reader know, oh, okay, I'm going to read about both sides of this argument. Okay? So that's my feedback about this. I know we have a task 1 to look at, so let's do that now. All right, so now let's take a look at your task 1. This is the English and Homestay letter. Dear McPherson family, I am Joachim Brandt, 17 years old, from Munich High School, Germany. I am writing to you regarding my upcoming stay with you under the aegis of the English and Homestay program my school is participating in every year. All right, careful. I love this. I think it's great. But if it participates every year, then it should not be the present continuous. It should be participates. So my school participates in every year. I would like to thank you for offering me the opportunity to live with you for this 3-month-long period. And in preparation for this exciting adventure, I would like to ask some questions if you do not mind. All right, this is lovely. This is so good. I might have changed the order around a little bit. In a formal letter, we always start with the reason why we're writing. So I would have just changed the sentence order. I would have said, Dear McPherson family, I'm writing to you regarding my upcoming stay, etc., etc. I would like to thank you for offering me this opportunity. Or even then you could say, I am Joachim, etc., etc. And then I could, so yeah, I would start with this one and then this one and then go to this sentence. Okay, so just switching around the first with the second sentence. And other than that, I think it's fantastic. Having heard some rumors about the English climate, I would like to select my garments with special care and consideration. Would you please let me know what kind of weather can be expected in the coming months within your region? That's great. According to the information I have found on the internet, during fall, lots of rain can be expected in the Newcastle area, which is often coupled with strong biting winds. Is that correct? All right, this is lovely. First of all, I love this piece of grammar you have here, having heard some rumors. That's wonderful. Nice, advanced, used absolutely correctly. This is absolutely, where did I go? Here we go. This is absolutely appropriate here. Would you please let me know? That's fantastic. And then this is a little direct, but it's fine. I mean, everything else was so lovely that I don't mind that you used a direct question. We avoid informal situations using direct questions, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so like I said, I'm fine with it. Let's continue. On another note, I have read that English people prefer the formal approach to the casual. This is spelled wrong. Okay, so careful. To the casual one when talking to strangers. I don't like the use of the word one here, so let's fix that a little bit. On another note, I have read that English people prefer the formal approach to the casual, and you don't even need one when talking to strangers. Would you please advise me on some greetings and expressions that I should or should not use when conversing with your countrymen? Beautiful. I do really want to make a good first impression because England is a place, you don't need a comma here. No. All right, I do really want to make a good first impression. You don't need a comma here either, so neither of these are necessary because England is a place where I can imagine myself working and living in the not so distant future. Beautiful. That's really lovely. All the grammar is really, really nice. Just be careful with some of that punctuation, okay? All right, so, okay. Let's see. Please note that according to the schedule I have been given, my plane is expected to land in Luton at 6 p.m. on the 14th of August. According to Google Maps, it will then take 1 hour with the express train to reach Bridgetown. I don't know. Would you please be so kind as to wait for me there at 7 o'clock? Knowing myself, I would be totally lost in a foreign country and would even miss the right direction to exit the train station. Okay, great. Okay. Should there be any change in my scheduled arrival, I will reach out to you on the phone number provided in the program guide. Thank you for your kind reply in advance. Sincerely yours. All right, this is fantastic. This is so good on so many ways. In so many ways. You've used a lot of this really beautiful grammar. This was lovely. Would you please be so kind as to wait for me? Even this knowing myself. And I loved that you used this form of the conditional. Absolutely fantastic. So there's no question that the grammar in this letter is really just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, I do have one concern that I have to share with you, and it is this. Your letter, at least the parts that are counted kind of in the word count, is 336 words. That's a lot. Remember that you're only supposed to use about no more than 20 minutes to write this letter. So, did you give yourself that amount of time, or did you allow yourself more to write this? I would advise you to limit yourself early on in your preparation to just the 20 minutes, because that will give you a more accurate impression of what you're able to produce in that time frame. So I thought this was fantastic. I was really happy with it. I think this is absolutely a high scoring letter, but again, it's really rather long. So that just raises that concern for me. I think you're at a fabulous point to prepare for IELTS. I am more than happy to help you continue prepare. I think that if you want more practice, then the essay correction package with just the essays themselves is a great way for you to prepare. So hopefully we can do that. Hopefully we continue to work together. And I want to wish you tons and tons of